recording. Yeah, so I don't know what happened. I know that there is a good internet connection when I'm in the city, but I don't know I'm actually in the city now, waiting for the bank to open. So couldn't ako kasi ganit as the pila, so I'm stuck here. So I don't know, wala kung signal. The signal is good, but the connection. Anyway, so back to our discussion. Naka-record na siya. Just please remind me to record our discussion in case mawala ang connection and then ma-record again. Again, so back to our discussion, no, when we think of the properties of our alcohol, no, you always have to remember that alcohol having an OH would have oxygen to be again partial negative, o yung tapad ng mga atoms will bear the partial positive charge. Ganuman, because oxygen, being an electronegative atom draws the electron paingon sa iyaha. So the electron density will be more inclined to the oxygen or directed towards the oxygen, and it would bear again the partial negative charge. And the other atoms would then be depleted with its electron density, kaning mga bonds nila, individual bonds, and because of that, they would bear a partial positive charge. So for example, you are faced with two substances, and mura magmasyak, no? What do you think would the kind of reaction will occur if you are faced with two kinds of substances? So the first thing that you need to think is which atom will be a partial negative atom, which atom will bear a partial positive atoms, which atoms has an electrons, because then it will become your source of a nucleophile or your source of base where you can form a bond. If there is a new bond that needs to be formed. So for example, in this case, you know that, okay, oxygen will be the partial negative atom, and the hydrogen usually when it's connected to another one, this is an acid, the hydrogen here will bear a partial positive charge, so there will be an interaction between partial negative and partial positive atom. They can form a bond, but which electron will you use? So you always have to remember oxygen has an extra electrons, okay, and you'll utilize that one. This becomes your base, no? This oxygen atom will become your base to donate electrons to form a bond with hydrogen. Okay, so you utilize that one. You have your oxygen and hydrogen bond. Okay, and you just follow. Okay, you have now 3 bonds for oxygen and a lone pair, and then you can check on the formal charts of oxygen, see if oxygen gani is bonded to 3 atoms and an unshared electrons. Then you calculate in the formal charge just to prove. And this one, your oxygen atom would be partial, not partial, but would have a formal charge of positive. Okay, and this is our protonated alcohol. Once you have your protonated alcohol, it's easy for this, no, to leave your substrate. Nga naman, the driving force then would be to disperse the positive charge that's being developed on oxygen. Dili pwede sa oxygen